Welcome to USA Old Coins, your ultimate destination for exploring the fascinating world of American coins. Today, we're diving into the iconic Washington quarter dollars, celebrating every state in the Union. From the stunning designs that capture each state's unique history to the stories behind these collectible treasures, this video will take you on a journey across the United States, one quarter at a time. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just curious about the stories these coins tell, stay tuned, because each quarter has a tale worth discovering. Top 1. Today, let me take you on a quiet journey through time, metal, and memory, as we hold in our hands a single Washington quarter that carries far more than its modest size suggests. This is the United States of America Washington quarter dollar, issued in the year 2016, honoring Harper's Ferry. At first glance, it may seem like just another modern coin easily overlooked in pocket change. But as with many great American stories, its true power reveals itself only when we slow down, listen carefully, and allow history to speak through every line, curve, and detail pressed into its surface. Imagine the moment this quarter first rolled off the presses of the United States Mint. The air hummed with machinery, the rhythm steady and precise, as blank planchets transformed into symbols of national heritage. This was not merely about producing currency, it was about preserving a place where America once stood at a crossroads. Harper's Ferry, nestled where rivers meet and mountains watch in silence, has witnessed some of the most dramatic moments in American history, and this coin was created to ensure that story would never fade from public memory. As we look at the obverse, the familiar portrait of George Washington greets us like an old friend. His calm, steady expression feels timeless, linking the earliest days of the Republic to the present era. By 2016, this portrait had already traveled across generations, surviving wars, economic upheavals, and cultural shifts. On this particular quarter, Washington's image serves as a reminder that the ideals of leadership, resilience, and unity remain central to the American identity, regardless of the era in which the coin is struck. Turning the coin over, the reverse design reveals the true heart of this issue. Harper's Ferry is depicted with deep symbolism, capturing John Brown's fort standing firm, framed by the natural landscape that once concealed hope, fear, and rebellion. This was not chosen by accident. The designers sought to encapsulate a moment when America confronted its deepest divisions, when the question of freedom could no longer be delayed or ignored. Every line on the reverse feels deliberate, as if the coin itself is whispering a warning and a promise at the same time. Harper's Ferry is more than a town, it is a stage where history unfolded in dramatic fashion. In the 19th century, it became a focal point of tension as John Brown led his ill-fated raid, believing that a spark here could ignite a larger movement against slavery. Though his plan failed, the echoes of that night reverberated across the nation, hastening the march towards civil war. This quarter captures that charged atmosphere, freezing it in metal so future generations can reflect on the cost of conviction and the weight of moral courage. The artistry of the 2016 Harper's Ferry quarter deserves careful attention. Unlike older coins that relied heavily on classical symbolism, this design leans into realism and emotional resonance. The structure of the fort, the surrounding elements, and the balance of negative space all work together to create a scene that feels both solemn and powerful. It is a reminder that modern coinage, when done thoughtfully, can rival the storytelling depth of earlier eras. Collectors often speak of coins as time travelers, and this quarter is no exception. It moves effortlessly between past and present, allowing someone in the modern world to connect with events that shaped the nation long before they were born. Holding this coin can feel like holding a fragment of the American conscience, a tangible reminder of struggle, sacrifice, and the ongoing pursuit of liberty. The year 2016 was itself a period of reflection and debate in the United States. Social questions, political divisions, and historical reassessments filled public discourse. Against that backdrop, the release of the Harper's Ferry Quarter felt especially meaningful. It invited Americans to look back, not to reopen old wounds, but to understand how far the nation had come and how far it still needed to go. From a numismatic perspective, the Harper's Ferry Quarter occupies a special place within the America the Beautiful Quarters program. This program aimed to celebrate national parks and historic sites, but Harper's Ferry stands apart because its significance is not purely scenic. It is emotional, ideological, and deeply human. This adds an extra layer of desirability for collectors who seek coins with stories that go beyond landscapes and monuments. The condition of a coin like this plays a vital role in its appeal. When preserved in exceptional state, with crisp details and original luster intact, the design truly comes alive. Light dances across the raised surfaces, emphasizing the strength of the imagery and the care taken in its production. Such examples become more than collectibles, they become miniature works of art. Rarity, whether through limited availability in high-grade condition or unique characteristics, further elevates this quarter's status. While millions may have been minted, only a small fraction survive in pristine form. These are the coins that command attention, admiration, and serious consideration from seasoned collectors and investors alike. What makes modern coins like this particularly fascinating is their accessibility. Unlike ancient or early American coins locked away in museums or private vaults, the Harper's Ferry Quarter could have once passed casually from hand to hand. It might have bought a cup of coffee or sat unnoticed in a wallet, its extraordinary story hidden in plain sight. Over time, however, the market begins to separate the ordinary from the exceptional. Coins tied to powerful historical narratives, combined with strong condition and collector demand, naturally rise above the rest. The Harper's Ferry Quarter benefits from this perfect convergence of history, design, and timing. For those who study American history, this coin serves as a starting point for deeper exploration. It encourages questions about moral choices, national identity, and the individuals who dared to challenge the status quo. In this way, numismatics becomes more than a hobby, it becomes an educational journey. For investors, the appeal lies in the coin's growing recognition. As more collectors appreciate the depth behind the design, demand strengthens. Coins that once seemed ordinary gain prestige as their stories are retold and rediscovered, especially through platforms like YouTube, where visual storytelling brings them to life for a global audience. There is also an emotional element that cannot be ignored. Many collectors are drawn to coins that resonate personally, and Harper's Ferry speaks to themes of courage and consequence that transcend borders. Even those far from American soil can feel the gravity of the events commemorated here. As the years pass, the 2016 Harper's Ferry Quarter continues to mature within the collector market. Its reputation grows steadily, supported by historical importance and increasing scarcity in top condition. What was once modern slowly becomes historic in its own right. Holding this coin today is like holding a conversation between centuries. The voices of the past meet the curiosity of the present, and the listener is invited to reflect, learn, and appreciate. This is the true magic of numismatics, and the Harper's Ferry Quarter embodies it beautifully. And now, as we reach the end of this journey, we come to the question that always sparks curiosity: value. For exceptional examples of the United States of America Washington quarter dollar honoring Harper's Ferry from 2016, the value can reach $53,000. If you have a similar coin, or any other coin you are curious about, comment below and share your story so we can help you learn more about it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into remarkable coins. And make sure to like this video so more collectors can discover the hidden stories waiting in their own change. Top 2. Let us slow down time and step into a story that flows like a great river through American history, a story captured not in books or paintings, but in the quiet strength of a single coin. In your hand rests the United States of America Washington quarter dollar from the year 2002, honoring the state of Louisiana. At first glance, it may appear simple, familiar, even ordinary. Yet the longer you look, the more this coin begins to speak, revealing layers of culture, struggle, pride, and resilience that define Louisiana and, in many ways, the nation itself. The journey of this quarter begins at the United States Mint, where metal blanks were transformed into storytellers. Each strike of the press was deliberate, echoing a commitment to preserve the identity of a state shaped by water, music, and survival. This was part of the Great 50 State Quarters program, a historic effort to unite the country through circulating art. Louisiana's turn came with a design that refused to be quiet, reflecting a land where history sings loudly through jazz notes, river currents, and voices that refuse to be forgotten. On the front of the coin, George Washington's portrait stands firm and familiar, a steady anchor across centuries. His presence connects the birth of the nation to the modern age, reminding us that the ideals of unity and perseverance remain relevant. In 2002, as the world moved rapidly into a new millennium, this familiar face grounded the coin in tradition while allowing the reverse to celebrate something deeply regional and uniquely powerful. Turning the coin over, Louisiana's story unfolds in rich symbolism. The design features a majestic pelican, wings spread in a gesture of protection and sacrifice, long recognized as the state's emblem. Beneath it, the outline of the Mississippi River curves gracefully, a reminder that this river is not just water, but life itself. It carried trade, culture, pain, and hope, shaping Louisiana's destiny as it flowed endlessly toward the Gulf of Mexico. The pelican on this quarter is not merely decorative. It represents selflessness and care, echoing legends of the bird feeding its young with its own blood. This symbolism resonates deeply in Louisiana, a state that has repeatedly given of itself, enduring floods, storms, and hardship while maintaining a spirit that refuses to break. The coin captures this idea in a single frozen moment, inviting anyone who sees it to pause and reflect. Louisiana's history is unlike any other state's story. Influenced by French, Spanish, African, and Native American cultures, it developed a rhythm all its own. From the streets of New Orleans to the quiet bayous, the state pulses with creativity and resilience. This quarter serves as a tribute to that complexity, acknowledging that America's strength comes from its diversity and its ability to weave many stories into one nation. When this coin entered circulation in 2002, it did so quietly, slipping into pockets and cash registers across the country. Few people stopped to consider the weight of history it carried. It may have paid for a cup of coffee or rested unnoticed in a jar, yet it held within it centuries of triumph and tragedy, celebration and survival. From a collector's perspective, the Louisiana quarter stands out not only for its design but for the emotional connection it fosters. Coins that tell stories rooted in culture and identity often become favorites, cherished beyond their face value. Over time, as collectors began to look more closely, certain examples of this quarter emerged as exceptional, drawing attention for their pristine condition and striking visual appeal. Condition plays a powerful role in transforming a common coin into something extraordinary. When preserved with sharp details, clean surfaces, and original luster, the Louisiana quarter becomes a miniature canvas. The pelican's feathers appear alive, the river seems to flow, and the entire design feels intentional and powerful. Such pieces stand apart from worn examples, commanding respect and admiration. Rarity adds another layer to the story. While millions were minted, only a small number remain in top-tier condition. These coins avoided heavy circulation, damage, and neglect, surviving the years as near-perfect reflections of their original state. It is these rare survivors that collectors seek, understanding that true value often lies in preservation. The passage of time has been kind to the reputation of the Louisiana quarter. As the 50-state quarters program moved further into history, early issues like this one gained nostalgic and historical appeal. Collectors who once overlooked modern coins began to reconsider them, recognizing that significance is not determined by age alone, but by meaning and context. Louisiana itself continued to face challenges, from natural disasters to social change, yet its spirit endured. In this way, the quarter became more than a commemorative piece, it became a symbol of resilience. For many, owning this coin feels like holding a small tribute to human endurance and cultural richness. For investors, coins like the Louisiana quarter represent an intersection of art, history, and market dynamics. Demand grows as stories are shared, researched, and appreciated. Platforms like YouTube have played a crucial role in this process, allowing collectors worldwide to discover the hidden depth of coins they once ignored. Emotion often drives collecting just as much as logic. The Louisiana quarter resonates with people who feel connected to the state, its music, its food, its struggles, and its celebrations. That emotional pull strengthens its place in collections, ensuring it remains relevant and desired. As years pass, modern coins gradually transform into historical artifacts. The 2002 Louisiana quarter now stands as a marker of its time, reflecting how America chose to represent itself at the dawn of a new century. Its design choices speak volumes about what the nation valued and wished to remember. Holding this coin today is like listening to a quiet song from the past. It invites reflection, curiosity, and appreciation. It reminds us that even the smallest objects can carry enormous stories if we take the time to listen. Collectors who understand this truth know that value is never just about numbers. It is about connection, narrative, and rarity coming together in a single piece of metal. The Louisiana quarter embodies all of these qualities with grace and strength. As we come to the end of this journey, the question of worth naturally arises. For exceptional examples of the United States of America Washington quarter dollar honoring Louisiana from 2002, the value can reach $90,000. If you have a similar coin or any other piece you are curious about, comment below and share your coin story so we can help you learn more about it. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more deep storytelling about remarkable coins, and don't forget to like this video so more collectors can uncover the hidden history resting in their own change. Let us open a quiet doorway into American history and walk through it together, guided not by a textbook or a monument, but by a single coin that fits in the palm of your hand. This is the United States of America Washington quarter dollar from the year 2013, honoring Fort McHenry. At first glance, it may seem like just another modern quarter, familiar and easily overlooked. But when we slow down and truly observe it, this coin begins to speak with a powerful voice, echoing cannon fire, resilience, and the birth of a national anthem. Every great coin begins its journey in motion, and this one was born amid the precise rhythm of the United States Mint. Sheets of metal were cut, pressed, and struck with care, transforming blank surfaces into a lasting tribute. The creation of the Fort McHenry quarter was not just an act of minting currency, it was an act of remembrance. It was a promise that one of the most defining moments in American identity would never fade into silence. The obverse of the coin presents the familiar portrait of George Washington, steady and composed, a presence that has anchored American coinage for generations. His image serves as a bridge between eras, reminding us that the ideals of leadership and perseverance remain constant even as the nation evolves. In the context of this coin, Washington's calm gaze contrasts beautifully with the storm of history unfolding on the reverse. When the coin is turned over, the scene changes dramatically. The reverse design captures Fort McHenry beneath a sky of bursting fireworks, symbolizing the famous bombardment during the War of 1812. The American flag flies proudly over the fort, unbroken and defiant. This single image tells a story of endurance under fire, of a nation refusing to surrender even when darkness threatened to overwhelm it. Fort McHenry stands at the heart of one of America's most emotional chapters. During a long night of attack, British forces unleashed relentless fire upon the fort. As dawn approached, uncertainty hung heavy in the air. It was in that moment, when the smoke cleared and the flag was still visible, that hope surged through the hearts of those watching. This site inspired Francis Scott Key to write the words that would later become the national anthem. The Fort McHenry quarter captures that exact feeling, not through sound or motion, but through stillness. The fireworks frozen in midair, the flag waving eternally, and the solid structure of the fort all work together to create a moment suspended in time. It invites the viewer to imagine the thunder of cannons and the quiet relief that followed when the sun rose. This coin is part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, a series dedicated to preserving natural wonders and historic landmarks. Among them, Fort McHenry holds a unique place. It is not just a location, it is a symbol of survival and national pride. While other designs celebrate landscapes and architecture, this one celebrates a defining emotional moment in American history. When this quarter entered circulation in 2013, it blended seamlessly into everyday life. It passed through countless hands, used for ordinary purchases, rarely questioned. Yet within it lived an extraordinary story. This is the magic of coinage, the ability to hide greatness in plain sight, waiting for someone curious enough to look closer. Collectors quickly recognized the emotional weight of the Fort McHenry design. Coins that connect directly to national identity often carry a special appeal, and this quarter does exactly that. It does not merely depict history, it evokes it. For many collectors, holding this coin feels like holding a piece of the American spirit itself. Condition plays a critical role in elevating this quarter from common to remarkable. When preserved in exceptional state, every detail shines with clarity. The fireworks appear crisp, the flag's folds are sharp, and the overall composition feels alive. Such examples are rare, as time and circulation inevitably leave their marks on most coins. Rarity, in this case, is not just about how many were minted, but how many survived untouched by wear. Only a small number remain in top condition, protected from scratches, discoloration, and damage. These coins become the crown jewels of modern collections, admired for both their beauty and their preservation. The passage of time has added depth to the Fort McHenry quarter's story. As years go by, modern coins slowly transition into historical artifacts. What once felt new becomes a reflection of how a nation chose to remember itself in the early 21st century. This transformation enhances the coin's significance and desirability. For history lovers, this quarter serves as an invitation. It encourages deeper exploration into the War of 1812, the lives of those who defended the fort, and the origins of the national anthem. In this way, the coin becomes an educational tool as much as a collectible. For investors, the Fort McHenry quarter represents the powerful combination of narrative, symbolism, and scarcity. Coins tied to iconic moments often experience sustained interest, especially as collectors seek pieces with meaning rather than mere metal content. Emotion is a driving force in collecting, and few emotions are as strong as pride and perseverance. The Fort McHenry quarter resonates with anyone who values resilience in the face of adversity. It reminds us that survival itself can be a victory, and that symbols matter when hope is tested. As more collectors and viewers discover the story behind this coin, its reputation continues to grow. Platforms like YouTube allow these stories to reach global audiences, transforming overlooked change into celebrated history. Each retelling adds another layer to the coin's legacy. Holding this quarter today is like holding a silent anthem. It does not sing, yet it reminds us of words known by heart. It does not move, yet it captures motion, sound, and emotion in a single frozen scene. This is the quiet power of numismatics. Coins like this teach us that history does not always live in grand halls or behind glass. Sometimes, it rests unnoticed in our pockets, waiting for recognition. The Fort McHenry quarter proves that even everyday objects can carry extraordinary meaning. As we reflect on this remarkable piece, we are reminded that value is not only measured by rarity or demand, but by the strength of the story it tells. The Fort McHenry quarter tells a story of endurance, unity, and hope, and that story continues to resonate today. Now, as we come to the end of this journey, the question of worth naturally arises. For exceptional examples of the United States of America Washington quarter dollar honoring Fort McHenry from 2013, the value can reach $62,000. If you have this coin or any other coin you are curious about, comment below and share your collection so we can help you learn more about it. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more deep, storytelling journeys into remarkable coins, and don't forget to like this video so more people can discover the hidden history waiting in their own change. Let us take a deep breath and step into a story shaped not by stone walls or battlefields, but by mist, mountains, and time itself. In the palm of your hand rests the United States of America Washington quarter dollar from the year 2014, honoring the Great Smoky Mountains. At first glance, it may seem calm and quiet, almost gentle compared to other historic designs. Yet the longer you look, the more you realize that this coin carries a powerful narrative about nature, endurance, and America's connection to the land. This quarter was born in the steady, rhythmic environment of the United States Mint, where modern technology met a timeless mission. Each strike of the press transformed cold metal into a lasting tribute to one of the most visited and beloved national parks in the country. The Great Smoky Mountains quarter was not created simply to circulate as money, but to preserve a feeling, a place, and a way of life that has endured for generations. In the obverse, the familiar image of George Washington greets us once again, calm and composed, unchanged through decades of circulation. His presence provides continuity, a reminder that while landscapes and societies evolve, the foundational ideals of the nation remain steady. Against this familiar face, the reverse design gains even more impact, inviting the viewer to travel far beyond city streets and into ancient forests. When we turn the coin over, the Great Smoky Mountains reveal themselves in quiet strength. Rolling ridgelines fade into one another beneath a blanket of mist, while a winding trail leads the eye deeper into the scene. A historic log cabin rests among the trees, symbolizing the people who once lived in harmony with this rugged environment. The design feels peaceful, yet it carries the weight of centuries. The Great Smoky Mountains are among the oldest mountain ranges on Earth, shaped long before modern nations existed. They have witnessed the rise and fall of civilizations, the movement of wildlife, and the slow, patient work of nature. This quarter captures that sense of timelessness, reminding us that some stories unfold not in moments, but over millennia. The mist that gives these mountains their name is more than a visual feature, it is a symbol. It represents mystery, continuity, and the delicate balance between human presence and the natural world. On the coin, that mist softens the landscape, creating a dreamlike quality that invites reflection rather than urgency. When this quarter entered circulation in 2014, it blended seamlessly into everyday transactions. It passed through countless hands, often unnoticed, its quiet beauty overlooked in the rush of daily life. Yet hidden within it was a tribute to conservation, a reminder of the importance of preserving spaces where nature still speaks louder than machines. As part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, the Great Smoky Mountains issue stands out for its emotional subtlety. Unlike designs that commemorate dramatic events, this one honors endurance and peace. It celebrates the idea that protecting natural beauty is itself a heroic act, worthy of national recognition. Collectors soon began to appreciate the depth of this design. Coins that depict landscapes often resonate deeply, especially when those landscapes hold personal meaning. For many, the Great Smoky Mountains represent family trips, quiet hikes, and moments of reflection far removed from modern stress. This emotional connection adds to the coin's lasting appeal. Condition plays a critical role in elevating this quarter's status. In exceptional preservation, the details of the trees, the cabin, and the rolling hills appear sharp and alive. Light glides across the surface, enhancing the sense of depth and atmosphere. Such examples are increasingly difficult to find as time passes. Though millions were minted, only a small portion survived without heavy wear. These rare, high-quality pieces become standouts in collections, valued not just for scarcity, but for the clarity with which they preserve the original artistic vision. Over time, modern coins like this one begin to change in the eyes of collectors. What was once seen as recent becomes historical, a snapshot of how early 21st century America chose to represent itself. The Great Smoky Mountains quarter reflects a growing national appreciation for conservation and natural heritage. For history and nature lovers alike, this coin serves as an invitation. It encourages viewers to learn about the people who once lived in these mountains, the wildlife that still roams them, and the efforts taken to protect them for future generations. In this way, the coin becomes educational as well as collectible. Investors are often drawn to coins with strong narratives and broad appeal. The Great Smoky Mountains quarter benefits from both. Its design speaks universally, transcending borders and cultures. Because nature itself is a shared human experience, emotion plays a powerful role in collecting, and few emotions are as grounding as peace and wonder. This quarter evokes quiet mornings, distant horizons, and the feeling of standing somewhere ancient and unchanged. That emotional resonance strengthens its place in the numismatic world. As stories about this coin are shared and rediscovered, interest continues to grow. Platforms like YouTube allow collectors to slow down and truly see what these designs represent, transforming everyday change into meaningful history. Holding this quarter today feels like holding a fragment of the natural world, preserved in metal. It does not roar or demand attention, yet its presence is deeply reassuring. It reminds us that some of the greatest treasures are not loud, but enduring. The Great Smoky Mountains quarter also reminds us of responsibility. It reflects a national choice to protect and honor landscapes that cannot speak for themselves. In this sense, the coin carries a quiet moral message alongside its artistic beauty. Collectors who understand this deeper meaning know that true value goes beyond numbers. It lies in story, preservation, and connection. The Great Smoky Mountains quarter embodies all of these qualities with remarkable grace. As time continues to move forward, this coin's reputation strengthens. It stands as a symbol of balance between progress and preservation, a reminder that honoring the past includes protecting the land itself. Now, as we reach the end of this journey, we arrive at the question that always sparks curiosity. For exceptional examples of the United States of America Washington quarter dollar honoring the Great Smoky Mountains from 2014, the value can reach $58,000. If you have this coin or any other coin you are curious about, comment below and share your collection so we can help you learn more about it. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more deep, storytelling explorations of remarkable coins. And don't forget to like this video so more people can discover the hidden history resting quietly in their own change. Top 5. Let us journey westward through imagination and history, guided by a single coin that carries the spirit of open land, determination, and quiet strength. In your hand rests the United States of America Washington quarter dollar from the year 2007, honoring the state of Utah. At first glance, it may seem like just another state quarter, familiar and modest. But as with the vast landscapes it represents, its true depth reveals itself only when you take the time to truly look and listen. This quarter was born during the height of the 50 State Quarters program, a time when America chose to tell its story through everyday money. Inside the United States Mint, metal blanks were transformed into symbols of identity and pride. Each strike was precise, intentional, and filled with purpose. The Utah quarter was not simply created to circulate, but to speak for a land shaped by faith, endurance, and an unbreakable relationship with nature. The obverse presents the steady and timeless portrait of George Washington. His image, unchanged across generations, acts as an anchor, reminding us of the nation's founding ideals. On this coin, Washington's calm expression feels especially fitting, as it introduces a reverse design that celebrates perseverance, unity, and long vision. He represents the beginning, while Utah's story represents the journey. Turning the coin over, the message becomes immediately clear. At the center stands the iconic delicate arch, rising gracefully from the desert landscape. Behind it, the inscription "Crossroads of the West" ties the past to the future. This is not just a scenic image, it is a declaration. It tells the story of Utah as a meeting point of cultures, paths, and destinies, where ancient trails and modern roads intersect. Delicate arch is more than a rock formation. It is a symbol of endurance, standing firm against wind, time, and erosion. On the coin, it represents the natural wonders that define Utah and the quiet strength required to survive in a rugged environment. The arch seems almost alive, a reminder that nature itself is a storyteller, shaping identity without words. Utah's history is deeply rooted in perseverance. Long before it became a state, indigenous peoples thrived in this land, understanding its rhythms and respecting its power. Later, pioneers crossed harsh terrain, guided by belief and determination, building communities where survival demanded unity. This coin captures that layered history in a single, powerful image. When this quarter entered circulation in 2007, it blended effortlessly into everyday life. It passed through countless hands, often unnoticed, its meaning hidden in plain sight. Yet within it lived stories of migration, faith, and resilience that shaped not only a state, but the broader American narrative. Collectors soon recognized that the Utah quarter carried a special balance of symbolism and beauty. Landscape-based designs often resonate deeply, and delicate arch is instantly recognizable. It speaks not only to Utah residents, but to anyone who has stood before a natural wonder and felt both small and inspired at the same time. Condition plays a vital role in transforming this quarter from common change into a remarkable collectible. In exceptional preservation, the lines of the arch are sharp, the surrounding textures crisp, and the entire design feels alive. Light reflects across the surface, enhancing depth and detail that are lost on worn examples. Although millions were minted, only a small number survived the years without heavy wear. These high-quality examples are the ones that collectors seek, knowing that rarity is often born from survival rather than limited production. Each pristine Utah quarter tells a story not only of history, but of careful preservation. As time has passed, the 50-state quarters program has taken on new significance. What once felt modern now feels historic. Early 21st century design choices are studied, appreciated, and compared. The Utah quarter stands out as a strong representation of place and identity, reflecting how America chose to honor its landscapes and stories. Utah itself continues to symbolize balance between growth and preservation. Expanding cities coexist with protected parks, and modern life unfolds alongside ancient rock formations. This coin mirrors that balance, blending contemporary minting with timeless imagery. For history lovers, the Utah quarter serves as a quiet invitation to explore deeper. It encourages curiosity about westward expansion, settlement, and the cultural crossroads that shaped the American West. In this way, the coin becomes more than a collectible, it becomes a gateway to understanding. For investors, coins like the Utah quarter represent the power of narrative. When design, symbolism, and condition align, demand grows steadily. Collectors increasingly seek coins that offer more than metal value, choosing pieces that tell stories worth sharing. Emotion plays a powerful role in collecting, and the Utah quarter evokes feelings of freedom, endurance, and awe. It reminds us of wide skies, long journeys, and the human desire to build meaning in challenging environments. That emotional connection strengthens its appeal year after year. As more people learn the story behind this coin through videos and shared discussions, its reputation continues to grow. What was once overlooked becomes celebrated, and everyday change transforms into historical art. Holding this quarter today feels like holding a fragment of the American West. It does not shout for attention, yet it commands respect. It carries silence, strength, and the passage of time within its metal frame. The Utah quarter also reminds us that value is layered. It exists in history, in symbolism, in condition, and in the personal connection each collector brings to it. Understanding this transforms collecting from a hobby into a meaningful pursuit. Coins like this teach us patience. They reward those who look closely, think deeply, and appreciate stories that unfold slowly. The Utah quarter is a perfect example of quiet significance growing louder with time. As years continue to pass, this coin's place in collections becomes more secure. It stands as a marker of identity, a reminder of where paths crossed and futures were shaped. Now, as we come to the end of this journey, we arrive at the question that always captures attention. For exceptional examples of the United States of America Washington quarter dollar honoring Utah from 2007, the value can reach $53,000. If you have this coin or any other coin you are curious about, comment below and share your collection so we can help you learn more about it. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more deep, storytelling journeys into remarkable coins, and don't forget to like this video so more collectors can discover the hidden history waiting in their own change. Let us step back to the very beginning of a modern numismatic journey, to a moment when a new chapter in American coinage quietly entered everyday life. In your hand rests the United States of America Washington quarter dollar from the year 2000, honoring the state of South Carolina. This coin arrived at a turning point in history, standing at the edge between centuries, carrying with it the weight of the past and the promise of what was to come. At first glance, it may seem simple, even familiar, but its story is anything but ordinary. The year 2000 was filled with anticipation and reflection. As the nation crossed into a new millennium, it also launched the ambitious 50-state quarters program, a project designed to bring history into the hands of everyday people. South Carolina was among the earliest states honored, and that timing alone gives this quarter a special place in the hearts of collectors. It was not just another release, it was part of a bold statement about identity, memory, and unity. This coin began its life within the walls of the United States Mint, where tradition met innovation. Metal blanks were carefully prepared, struck, and transformed into symbols meant to circulate widely yet speak deeply. The South Carolina quarter was crafted to represent a state that played a foundational role in American history, from colonial beginnings to defining moments that shaped the nation's character. In the obverse, the familiar portrait of George Washington greets us with calm authority. His image, steady and unchanging, links the founding of the country to its modern expression. On a coin released at the dawn of a new century, Washington's presence feels especially meaningful, reminding us that progress is built upon enduring principles. When the coin is turned over, South Carolina's identity comes into focus through rich symbolism. The design features the outline of the state itself, accompanied by the palmetto tree and the Carolina wren. These elements are not decorative choices, they are declarations. The palmetto tree stands as a symbol of resilience and victory, while the wren's presence adds warmth and life, reflecting the state's natural beauty and spirit. South Carolina's history is deeply woven into the fabric of America. It was one of the original colonies, a place where early dreams of independence took root. Its coastlines, cities, and countryside witnessed moments of ambition, conflict, and transformation. This quarter captures that layered past not through dramatic scenes, but through symbols that quietly speak to those who understand them. The palmetto tree, in particular, carries powerful meaning. During the Revolutionary War, palmetto logs were used to defend Charleston, absorbing cannon fire and protecting those within. By placing this tree on the quarter, the design honors a legacy of resistance and ingenuity, reminding viewers that strength often comes from unexpected sources. When this coin entered circulation in the year 2000, it blended seamlessly into daily life. It passed through countless hands, paid for ordinary purchases, and rested unnoticed in pockets and jars. Yet hidden within it was a story stretching back centuries, a reminder that history does not always announce itself loudly. Collectors quickly began to appreciate the South Carolina quarter for its position at the beginning of the state series. Early issues often hold special appeal, and this coin marked the start of something entirely new. It represented a fresh way of engaging the public with history, using everyday objects to spark curiosity and pride. Condition plays a vital role in elevating this quarter from common to extraordinary. In exceptional preservation, the details stand out with remarkable clarity. The palmetto's fronds appear sharp, the wren seems almost ready to take flight, and the state outline feels bold and confident. These qualities transform the coin into a miniature work of art. Although millions were minted, only a limited number survived the years without heavy wear. Time, circulation, and neglect take their toll on most coins. Those that remain in top condition become increasingly rare, sought after by collectors who understand that survival itself creates value. As years passed, the 50-state quarters program grew into a cultural phenomenon. What began as spare change turned into a nationwide collection effort. The South Carolina quarter, as one of the earliest releases, gained recognition not just for its design, but for its role in launching a new era of collecting. South Carolina itself continued to evolve, balancing growth with tradition. Its cities expanded, its culture thrived, and its history remained ever-present. This coin mirrors that balance, blending modern minting with timeless symbolism that still resonates today. For history enthusiasts, the South Carolina quarter serves as a quiet invitation to explore deeper. It encourages reflection on colonial America, revolutionary struggle, and the state's ongoing contribution to the nation. In this way, the coin becomes a doorway rather than a destination. For investors, this quarter represents the power of firsts. Coins tied to beginnings often hold lasting appeal, especially when combined with strong symbolism and exceptional condition. Demand grows as appreciation deepens, driven by both nostalgia and recognition. Emotion plays a powerful role in collecting, and this coin evokes a sense of origin. It reminds collectors of where a journey began, both for the nation and for the state quarters program itself. That emotional connection strengthens its place in collections around the world. As more stories are shared and rediscovered, interest in the South Carolina quarter continues to grow. Platforms like YouTube allow these narratives to reach new audiences, transforming overlooked change into celebrated history. Holding this quarter today feels like holding a marker in time. It represents a beginning, a bridge between centuries, and a tribute to resilience. It does not demand attention, yet it rewards those who pause to truly see it. Coins like this teach us that value is layered. It exists in history, in symbolism, in condition, and in the stories we choose to tell. The South Carolina quarter embodies all of these elements, quietly but powerfully. As the years move forward, this coin's place in numismatic history becomes more secure. It stands as a reminder that even modern coins can carry profound meaning and lasting significance. Now, as we reach the end of this journey, we arrive at the moment everyone waits for. For exceptional examples of the United States of America Washington quarter dollar honoring South Carolina from the year 2000, the value can reach $100,000. If you have this coin or any other coin you're curious about, comment below and share your story so we can help you learn more about it. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more deep, storytelling journeys into remarkable coins, and don't forget to like this video so more collectors can discover the hidden history waiting in their own change. Top 7. Let us drift gently into a story shaped by flowing water, deep roots, and quiet endurance, told not through pages of a book but through a single piece of metal. In your hand rests the United States of America Washington quarter dollar from the year 2002, honoring the state of Mississippi. At first glance, it may seem simple, familiar, almost ordinary. Yet the longer you stay with it, the more you realize that this coin carries a voice as powerful and steady as the great river that defines the land it represents. This quarter was born during the remarkable era of the 50-state quarters program, a time when America chose to place its history directly into everyday life. Inside the United States Mint, blank discs of metal were struck with intention, each one becoming a small ambassador for a state's identity. Mississippi's quarter was created to honor a place shaped by water, music, struggle, and resilience, a state whose story runs deep beneath the surface. On the obverse, George Washington appears as he always does, calm, steady, and timeless. His portrait connects the earliest days of the Republic to the modern era, reminding us that while times change, the foundation remains. Against this familiar image, the reverse design gains strength, allowing Mississippi's unique story to unfold with quiet confidence. Turning the coin over, the symbolism immediately draws the eye. At the center stands the magnolia blossom, elegant and strong, surrounded by branches that seem to reach outward. Beneath it, the Mississippi River flows in a graceful curve, anchoring the design. These elements are not decorative, they are deeply meaningful. Together, they tell a story of beauty, persistence, and life shaped by the rhythm of water. The magnolia has long been associated with Mississippi, representing dignity, hospitality, and endurance. Its presence on the coin reflects a state that has weathered hardship while maintaining grace. The flower does not shout for attention, yet it commands respect, much like the people and culture it symbolizes. The Mississippi River itself is more than geography. It is history in motion. It carried trade, culture, sorrow, and hope. It shaped economies, communities, and destinies. By placing the river on this quarter, the design acknowledges its role as both a giver of life and a witness to centuries of change. When this quarter entered circulation in 2002, it traveled far beyond Mississippi's borders. It passed through countless hands, crossed state lines, and blended into daily routines. Many never paused to consider the depth of the story it carried, yet that story remained, waiting quietly for discovery. Collectors soon began to notice the Mississippi quarter for its balanced and graceful design. Coins that combine natural beauty with historical meaning often develop strong followings. This quarter does not rely on dramatic imagery, instead, it draws people in through calm strength and thoughtful symbolism. Condition plays a powerful role in elevating this coin's status. In exceptional preservation, the magnolia's petals appear crisp, the river's curve smooth and defined, and the entire surface alive with original luster. These qualities transform the coin from everyday change into something truly special. Although millions were minted, only a small number survived the years without heavy wear. Time, circulation, and handling leave marks on most coins. Those that remain in top condition become increasingly rare, standing out as survivors of everyday use. As the years passed, the 50-state quarters program itself became part of history. What once felt new became a reflection of early 21st century America. The Mississippi quarter now stands as a snapshot of how the nation chose to represent identity, heritage, and pride during that time. Mississippi's cultural influence reaches far beyond its borders. Music born along its riverbanks changed the world. Stories, traditions, and voices from the state continue to shape American culture. This quarter quietly honors that influence, offering a symbol rather than a speech. For history lovers, this coin invites deeper exploration. It encourages curiosity about the people who lived along the river, the communities that grew from its banks, and the resilience required to endure change. In this way, the coin becomes a starting point, not an ending. For investors, coins like the Mississippi quarter represent the importance of narrative. When strong symbolism meets rarity in condition, demand follows. Collectors increasingly seek coins that offer emotional and historical connection, not just metal content. Emotion plays a central role in collecting, and this quarter evokes calm reflection rather than spectacle. It reminds us that strength can be quiet, beauty can be subtle, and endurance does not always announce itself loudly. As more stories about this coin are shared through videos and conversations, its reputation continues to grow. What was once overlooked becomes appreciated, and everyday objects are transformed into pieces of living history. Holding this quarter today feels like holding a fragment of a larger story, one that flows steadily through time. It carries the spirit of Mississippi in its design, offering a reminder of the land, the river, and the people shaped by both. Coins like this teach us that value is layered. It exists in history, in symbolism, in preservation, and in the meaning we attach to it. Understanding this transforms collecting into something deeper and more rewarding. The Mississippi quarter stands as a quiet tribute to endurance and grace. It does not demand attention, yet it rewards those who pause long enough to truly see it. As time continues to move forward, this coin's place in collections becomes more secure. It represents not just a state, but a way of understanding how history, nature, and identity intertwine. Now, as we reach the end of this journey, we come to the moment that sparks the most curiosity. For exceptional examples of the United States of America Washington quarter dollar honoring Mississippi from 2002, the value can reach $94,000. If you have this coin or any other coin you're curious about, comment below and share your collection so we can help you learn more about it. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more deep, storytelling explorations of remarkable coins. And don't forget to like this video so more people can discover the hidden history resting quietly in their own change. Top 8. Let us open a passageway through time and imagination, guided by a single coin that represents movement, courage, and the human desire to cross into the unknown. In your hand rests the United States of America Washington quarter dollar from the year 2016, honoring Cumberland Gap. At first glance, it may appear calm and understated, yet this coin carries the echo of footsteps, wagon wheels, and dreams that once moved westward through a narrow opening in the mountains. This quarter was born inside the United States Mint during a time when modern America chose to honor places that shaped its earliest expansion. Each strike of the press transformed a plain piece of metal into a storyteller. The Cumberland Gap quarter was created not merely as currency, but as a tribute to a natural gateway that changed the direction of a nation's history. On the obverse, George Washington appears as he has for generations, composed and resolute. His image serves as a reminder of beginnings, leadership, and the fragile birth of a nation. Against this familiar presence, the reverse design gains depth, offering a story that unfolds not in cities or halls of power, but in forests, valleys, and mountain passes. When the coin is turned over, the Cumberland Gap reveals itself as a quiet but powerful landscape. Rolling mountains frame a path that seems to invite movement forward. The design feels open and hopeful, capturing the essence of a place that once served as the doorway to the American frontier. It is not dramatic in the traditional sense, yet its importance cannot be overstated. Cumberland Gap was more than a geographical feature. It was a promise. For early settlers, it represented opportunity, land, and a chance to build a new life. Thousands passed through this narrow passage, carrying everything they owned and everything they hoped for. The coin freezes that moment of possibility, preserving it for generations who may never walk that path themselves. This natural gateway was first used by wildlife, then by Native American tribes, and later by explorers and pioneers. Each group left its mark, contributing to a layered history of movement and survival. The Cumberland Gap Corridor honors all of these journeys without speaking a word, allowing the landscape itself to tell the story. When this coin entered circulation in 2016, it joined everyday life quietly. It moved through pockets, registers, and collections, often unnoticed. Yet within it lived a story of courage and transformation, waiting patiently for someone curious enough to look beyond the surface. As part of the America the Beautiful Corridors program, the Cumberland Gap issue stands apart for its symbolism. While many designs celebrate monuments or structures, this one honors a path. It recognizes that sometimes the most important places are not destinations, but passages that allow change to happen. Collectors soon began to appreciate the deeper meaning behind this design. Coins that represent movement and transition often resonate strongly, because they mirror the human experience itself. Everyone understands the idea of crossing from one chapter of life into another, and Cumberland Gap embodies that universal theme. Condition plays a vital role in elevating this corridor's presence. In exceptional preservation, the contours of the mountains appear crisp, the path clear and inviting. The surfaces reflect light in a way that brings the scene to life. These well-preserved examples stand apart, admired for their clarity and strength. Although many were minted, only a small number survived without heavy wear. Time has a way of leaving marks, especially on coins meant for circulation. Those that remain in top condition become increasingly rare, cherished for their survival as much as their design. As years pass, modern coins slowly transform into historical reflections. The Cumberland Gap Corridor now represents how early 21st century America chose to remember its westward expansion. It captures a moment when the nation looked back, honoring the courage required to move forward. For history lovers, this coin serves as an invitation to explore stories of exploration, settlement, and cultural exchange. It encourages curiosity about the people who walked that path and the challenges they faced. In this way, the coin becomes a bridge between curiosity and understanding. For investors, the Cumberland Gap Corridor represents the power of narrative combined with scarcity in condition. Coins with meaningful stories often hold lasting appeal, especially as collectors seek pieces that connect emotionally as well as historically. Emotion is central to collecting, and this corridor speaks softly but clearly. It evokes feelings of hope, uncertainty, and determination. It reminds us that progress often begins with a single step into unfamiliar territory. As more people discover the story behind this coin through shared discussions and videos, its reputation continues to grow. What was once ordinary change becomes a symbol of national movement and transformation. Holding this corridor today feels like holding a map without words. It points toward the idea of possibility, reminding us that every generation has its own gaps to cross and paths to choose. The Cumberland Gap Corridor also teaches us that value is not always loud or obvious. Sometimes it lies in subtle symbolism and quiet strength. Understanding this transforms collecting into a deeply personal experience. Coins like this reward patience and reflection. They ask the viewer to slow down, to imagine, and to connect with moments long past. The Cumberland Gap Quarter does exactly that, offering depth to those willing to look closely. As time moves forward, this coin's place in collections becomes more meaningful. It stands as a reminder that America was shaped not only by decisions made in rooms, but by journeys taken through landscapes like this one. As we reach the end of this journey, we arrive at the moment everyone waits for. For exceptional examples of the United States of America Washington quarter dollar honoring Cumberland Gap from 2016, the value can reach $51,000. If you have this coin or any other coin you are curious about, comment below and share your collection so we can help you learn more about it. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more deep, storytelling journeys into remarkable coins, and don't forget to like this video so more people can discover the hidden history waiting in their own change. Top 9. There are coins that tell a story of nature, coins that celebrate states, and then there are coins that capture moments of bravery, sacrifice, and transforming history. On USA Old Coins today, we uncover a coin that carries the weight of American courage and the echo of one of the most important battles of the Civil War. This is the Vicksburg Quarter 2001p, a coin that collectors admire not only for its powerful design, but also for the surprising errors, hidden rarities, and unexpected minting flaws that turn an ordinary pocket piece into something extraordinary. Imagine holding a coin that represents a turning point in American history. The Vicksburg design shows the mighty USS Cairo, a legendary ironclad gunboat that once roared across the Mississippi River. Her cannons, her armor, her strength, everything about her stood as a symbol of unstoppable force. And the Philadelphia Mint's 2001 production of this quarter, although not commonly talked about, hides a world of unusual production issues that collectors love to explore. When the 2001p Vicksburg quarter was first released, it entered circulation quietly. But over time, collectors began noticing something unusual. Many coins struck in Philadelphia that year had signs of rapid die wear, metal flow lines, and surface inconsistencies. And when a design contains a detailed ship like the USS Cairo, its rails, its gun decks, its sharp outlines, small imperfections become very noticeable. That's where the treasure hunt begins. Point one of the most fascinating rarities of this coin is the die deterioration doubling. On some pieces, the word Vicksburg and parts of the ship show a distorted, stretched look. This is not a classic double die, but it is still extremely collectible because the distorted text makes the coin look bold and dramatic. When collectors spot it, they know they've found something truly interesting. Another major error is the die crack varieties. Some Vicksburg quarters from 2001p developed cracks across the ship's bow, along the rim, or through the lettering. These raised metal lines give the coin a rugged, battle-worn appearance, almost like the ship itself is still surviving the impact of cannon fire. Rim-to-rim die cracks, especially the ones forming small cuds, bring even higher premiums because they are visually striking and easy to authenticate, but perhaps the most sought-after versions of the 2001p Vicksburg quarter are the off-center strikes. These errors occur when the blank planchet is not properly centered, shifting the design to one side. Off-center errors of even 5% look impressive on this quarter because the ship's placement becomes instantly noticeable. Extreme off-centers, where part of the design is missing, can reach high values in the collector market. Another beauty of this coin lies in the floating design varieties. Some Vicksburg quarters show faint die polish lines that run across the river or the ship's bottom, making the Cairo appear to hover above the water, almost like a ghost ship rising from history. These subtle visual effects fascinate collectors who enjoy mint-made design anomalies that feel like optical illusions, but the real challenge, and the real value, comes from hunting high-grade pieces. Because of heavy circulation and Philadelphia's minting struggles that year, finding a Vicksburg 2001p quarter with sharp details and clean surfaces is extremely difficult. Many coins show contact marks, soft details, or weak strikes. That makes high-grade mint-state examples rare and sought after. MS-66 and MS-67 are tough, but MS-68 is almost mythical for this coin. When one appears at auction, collectors bid fiercely because such coins represent the best of the best. What makes this coin even more captivating is the history behind it. Vicksburg was not just a battle. It was a turning point that changed the course of the Civil War. The city's capture split the Confederacy, secured control of the Mississippi River, and gave the Union an enormous strategic advantage. The USS Cairo was one of the ironclads that played a key role in this mission before being sunk in battle. Restored and now preserved, its story of resilience mirrors the endurance of the coin that carries its image. So when you hold the Vicksburg 2001p quarter in your hand, you're not just holding a piece of metal. You're holding a symbol of American strength, a moment frozen in time, and a miniature piece of artwork that survived the pressures of the mint, the demands of circulation, and the curiosity of collectors. If you're watching this, now is the perfect moment to check your change, your drawers, your old jars of coins. The Vicksburg quarter might be hiding somewhere near you, waiting to reveal its story, its errors, and maybe even its value. And the best part is that every error or variety makes this coin even more unique. Before we reveal the value, remember to comment below with your own coins so USA Old Coins can help you identify them. And don't forget to subscribe to USA Old Coins, comment on the video, and like the video so we can continue bringing you rare, exciting, and educational stories about American coins. Now here is the real market value in words. A regular circulated Vicksburg quarter 2001p is worth 25 cents, but rare errors and high-grade auction pieces have sold for as much as $250 in words $250.